start off with your community involvement. I read through your resume. I mean, you do a full-time job, but you have another life of doing all kind of volunteers.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
I think it's important that we feel we have a purpose in this world. And I know that sounds like the most generic thing ever to say, but a lot of the work that I do in this world is really not for capital gains or for any sort of material success. I think it's really about feeling that I have a place in this world, and it's my duty in a way to actualize my purpose. And at this point, I think, when we talk about things like purpose, is a very vague and archaic, in a way, generic description. But what I'm really trying to say is that everyone in this world has a way of actualizing who they really are. And I mean, who you really are is really independent of any social construct, right? Because I play many roles. I'm a partner, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm everything. But who I really am at the core is really just a soul in this world. And when it comes to the way the soul interacts with the rest of the world, I interact with it through my job, but I also interact with it through communities that I impact with my work. So for example, I work closely with North Korean business leaders in women, so helping them to understand, how to develop strategies or things like that. Another way that I impact the community is through the Global Shapers Hub, where we, as a group, form many different projects around things like around social impact. So, for example, we do environmental consciousness awareness raising. We worked also with young children, so helping them to learn outside of the classroom. So to do that, for example, we did some workshops to teach them how to draw posters, to promote some ice creams, and this is really helpful for them because they get to interact with their peers and also with the public as opposed to being cooped up in the classroom.
I'm also curious about your involvement with the Obama Foundation.
Oh, right, yeah.
Did you selfie with Obama?
I did actually, yeah. I did.
You have to send that to me.
I have many photos, and the funny story is that when I shook my hands with him, I did not wash this hand.
No kidding.
No, I am obsessed with Obama.
Kidding.
Obama, honestly, is an inspiration to me, along with Lee Kuan Yew.
Wow.
So it's really funny how they're always state leaders.
Tell me about your experience with him.
Well, I met him 3 times actually, and the most
so
memorable
unfair.
one is, I'm too lucky. The most memorable one was when I was in the White House, and we had this small room where he, decided to meet some of the young leaders from Southeast Asia, and and when he walked into the room, he just had this completely understated energy. Do you know what I mean?
Understated.
When he walked in, you could sense his energy, but it wasn't like I am the boss or I am the president of the United States. Look at me. It was more of like I'm your friend, or like I'm just a person walking in.
You get tired.
No, I didn't actually. I just was very aware of how he made me feel. And
How tall is he?
He's actually no, he wasn't that tall actually. He was like maybe 1.8 something on 1.9. I can't remember. Yeah, but I didn't feel like he was overpowering or anything like that. Yeah, but he was very nice.
What did he say to you?
He just said thank you for the great work you're doing for our world, and I was like, I am nobody. Like I'm really no one,
Does it not humble you?
Yeah, I felt very humbled, and I think that taught me a lot about leadership as well.
How long did you spend with him in that White House?
It was a full day event, so we heard him speak.
In and out.
Yeah, in and out sort of thing, and then he had some speeches, and then a meeting. And
I watched House of Cards.
I've never actually watched it, but I had a lot of it. Yeah.
And the West Wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how they have like.
And they have a
hundreds
blue
of
room, and then a red room, and so many different rooms.
That must have been, at such a young age, the highlight of your life. I mean, how
it
do
really
you top
is,
that?
wasn't it? I don't know.
You can't top that with visiting Donald Trump.
Let's not get started on Donald Trump.
No.
Not a fan of him. Yeah.
No. you are part of very elite group of NGOs. You know, is it by design?
In what way am I part of the group of
The World
NGOs?
Economic Forum,
Right. Okay.
Obama Foundation.
Right.
Just name two.
Right. I think, for these things it really is. So even for the World Economic Forum,
How are you being selected?
So for what happened was that someone from the Prime Minister's office, a good friend of ours in our community, Aaron, he reached out to me and said, I think you'd be a great fit for this program. I was like, what is this thing? So I just sort of went online and searched more about it. And I was very inspired by the fact that it gathered young people with similar, mindsets and things like that.
Which
so
one
I
are we
started
talking
applying. Global Shapers.
Right.
Yeah, so he introduced me to that basically, and I decided to apply, and then I got in. And I think a big part about Global Shapers is that we try not to be as elitist as we could be. We veer away a lot from that. So we try to diversify the recruitment. For example, we want equal representation from different backgrounds and social, economic backgrounds and professions and things like that. So sometimes you see a hub is full of finance professionals just because that's your network,
Full of teachers.
full of et cetera. But for the Singapore Hub, we try our best to really decentralize that and to open that up to anyone. Even a Bangladeshi worker, for example, could be part of a
If they
hub.
have the right attitude, right?
Yeah, if they honestly want to do a project, then we want to support him, And I think that's what Global Shapers is all about, a spirit of an entrepreneurial spirit of innovation and helping each other create social change and social impact.
The reason I asked that is, from an admiration point of view, because, I have this realization lately that one of the key to success is to put your hand up and volunteer. And of
Absolutely.
course, through volunteering, you get noticed, you get picked up. And if I'm going to give advice to young people, I would say, if you're already volunteering, why not volunteer in the best possible platform that would help you to grow and that would lead you to a handshake with Obama.
Right.
And you strike me as someone who is very proactive. Our interaction started with me having a conference.
Yeah.
I come from a very laid-back community. I'm from Brunei. People who are outspoken, people who seize opportunity are almost being frowned upon. That, hey, what's this person trying to do? But I'm of the mindset that you create opportunity for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm talking to you, because I want you to send a message to my friends in that, hey, it's not only okay, but it's important to create your own opportunity. So I don't have a question. I just want you to follow up with this comment.
Yeah. I think first of all that many variations of success and many definitions of it. I think a working mom or just a stay-at-home mom is just as successful as I am. But second to your point about being proactive and going out to get what you want, that has always been a part of me since I was growing up because my family environment wasn't necessarily the best. So I think there are many
I thought that
factors.
you're from an elite background.
Actually, no, I'm not. Yeah, middle class.
Right.
I'm alright. Not too good, but not too bad. Yeah.
What did that guy from the Crazy Rich Asians say? I'm comfortable.
Yeah, I'm alright.
I'm comfortable.
I haven't watched that as well. So many movies I haven't watched, but I always was going out and trying to find a way to make my mark on this world, and I think to do that, even if you feel like there's so many barriers against you, whether you feel like you're not qualified enough, you don't have enough experience, or you're a woman of color, these sort of things fall away if you have the right perseverance and attitude, and always leverage on your whatever you have, right? So whether you have a small network or if you have tools like the internet, like Coursera, or any way you can to embark on this journey of self-improvement and progress, then that is I think something you should always hold on to, right? So one way I always think about myself is that I try to surround myself with people who have that gung-ho attitude, and that you know, because I believe that no matter what they do, even if they are like a road sweeper or any, you know, career that we don't see as typically successful, even in those cases, they are just the best at what they do. At the end of the day, it's about being good at what you do and then trying to always improve yourself and expose yourself to what the world is doing. Like, I don't compare myself to what other Singaporeans are doing. I compare myself to a global like standard, right? Like what is happening around the world and how am I a part of that? I think having that mindset is incredibly important.
And that was since young.
Yes, actually. Which is why I reached out to like the US for all this stuff and the work coming from. I always thought, I'm not playing at this level, I'm playing at like a global level. Yeah.
How do you get that? Your parents?
I think I got that because I was never complacent.
I love what you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was never complacent, and
So type A since young.
yes. But I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that
top everything.
I didn't do well in school actually. I didn't like it. I hated school. Yeah.
I wouldn't believe it.
I just hated the system and the structure, yeah. But I think for me is that I always feel like I'm on a level playing field, you know. Like, I never feel that I am lesser. Of course, I do have, you know, things like imposter syndrome where I feel like, you know, when I talk to older people, maybe I'm not good enough. But I always try my best and I always stay humble and always learn, right?
You know, what's funny is the first 2 minutes of your conversation, you know, who is this girl?
Right.
I mean, being a global shaper, I would know
Right.
that you are at least 30 or below.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, you have such, you're talking
I'm only
about,
25.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the spiritual realm of things, about balance.
Sure. Yeah,
about
that's important to me.
purpose and all that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking to a 50-year-old.
I know, I feel that all the time.
And then you talk about you know, not washing your hand after
Meeting Obama.
after meeting Obama, and I knew that we can be friends.
Yes.
So you're not that out there. You're
No,
still
I
human.
don't. Yeah, I don't think at all. I don't think I'm better than anyone else. To be honest, I have many flaws, and I always work hard to